Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Wednesday, the 20th day of September 2023, Wednesday of the 24th week of the year, the 24th week in Ordinary Time. But also today we have the remembrance of those Korean martyrs, St. Andrew Kim, Paul Chung, and their companions. Christians martyred in the 1800s in Korea, again, for their belief at a time in which there was great unrest in Korea between Japanese incursions and Chinese incursions and all kinds of other things that were sort of disrupting the Christian mission there that was in Korea. So remember the church in Korea today. We remember all people, again, who suffer because of the faith. Coming to you, this is day 3 from the what is it, on the priest retreat, we're on. It is sunrise here on the beach in Wrightsville Beach. Again, the blockade runner right over there. Again, another glorious morning here on the shore in Carolina. Is it going to rain later on this week? Maybe, but not for long, some people say, so it's all over the place. But this morning, there are special readings for Andrew Kim and for Paul and everybody, but the readings for today continue with the letter to Timothy, that first letter to Timothy, the bishop. Again, Paul wants to come and visit Timothy, I guess, and he will be delayed. But he wants them to behave in a manner that is keeping with being part of the household of God. And then he goes on to this whole thing about what it means to be part of the household of God. So again, it's constant reinforcements about, what it means to be a believer in the world, which is important, I guess, for all of us to sort of kind of consider at times, because we can forget that we are supposed to think and act differently as believers in the world. It doesn't mean that we that we condemn the world, that we basically move in ways that disregard the world or anything else like that. We do act in ways that do not often congeal with the ways that the world thinks are important or the world values. We do not act in ways that support, sometimes the selfishness and the cruelty and the hurt and the pain that our culture and society can inflict. But we also would agree, with the great work that expresses the fullness of our humanity and what it means to be human beings, that our society and culture also does engage in. So we are not at odds, we are not at war with the world, but we do think and act differently. And Paul asks the community that Timothy is ahead of to remember that and to live out those kinds of principles. In the Luke's Gospel today, we have the very interesting criticism of Jesus that no one is happy with anything, which is sometimes very true. Again, people want this, people want that. Everybody wants change, but when change finally happens, nobody's happy with it because basically it isn't the change that they thought they should have. So again, our fickleness, Jesus kind of mocks in one way and calls out on us. Again, this whole idea about John the Baptist came, you called that he was crazy and possessed by a demon because he didn't eat and drink, and the Son of Man eat and drinks, and you call him a drunkard and a glutton. And again, it's like, what do people want? It's like children, like he says, who says, play us a dirge and we'll sing and dance, and then we won't sing and dance because you're playing us this dirge. So it just is a bit ridiculous, in all around. If you take a look at how we basically do not value what it is that we have. We do not value what it is that we see around us. We do not value perhaps what our faith is offering us, but we want faith on our own terms. And that is never going to happen because it is never faith on our own terms, regardless of how we think those terms are noble and right and orthodox and whatever. It is God's terms always, which are surprising and at times unnerving and irrational and sometimes unreasonable. But they are for us and for our benefit and to awaken us to what it is that we need. A blessed day, St. Francis and people of God. Continue to pray for the priest and priest retreat, and may the Lord give you his peace.